Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on European Confessions. The following confession that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a message that we received, and it reads like this. Hi, how are you, Brother Nashim? Please post my story as anonymous. When my husband passed away, we did not tell Home Affairs that my husband had died. We still kept him alive on paper because of financial business reasons. We had to keep him alive until I was able to register my own company. Brother Nashi, I have carried this for more than 20 years. I'm tired, I'm scared, and now I don't know who to talk to anymore because the thing is no longer buried and my husband is refusing to stay buried. He is saying, I want you to go and dig up my bones and you carry me to Malawi. It has been a long time ago. I don't even remember where he came from because when he came to South Africa, it was him and his little brother. He also passed away and he was buried in Durban. That was where he got married to another woman there in Durban. So I really do not know who else to contact. That woman who got married to my husband's little brother, she did not have a child with her husband. So when I once reached out to him, she said that she never bothered to go and look for her husband's relatives after he had passed away. I did not even attend the funeral because he passed away after so many years when my husband had died. So she was like, since we did not have a child, I did not think that it was that important for me to go and look for the relatives. We just buried him. So he got buried in KZN. She also never went to Malawi with her husband. And I did not go to Malawi with my husband as well because I did not see any need for me to go to Malawi. Me and my husband, we were staying here in Joburg. We had built a nice home and we had a nice, beautiful family. I already had 2 kids with my ex. When I met my Malawian husband, he took my kids in. He loved them as if they were his own children. So I don't even know where am I supposed to go with his bones. If it happens that we go and we dig up his grave, if we are allowed to do that, then we go with his bones to Malawi. Where will I take them to Malawi? Because I don't even know where he came from. And I am not in my right mind right now. That is why I am coming to you. I have come here not to be judged. I am coming because I need you to help me find a Malawian healer, someone who understands they are dead. Like if a South African dies, a South African Sangoma knows the culture, what it's supposed to be done. So I don't know anything. I have tried several Sangomas, but they also do not understand how to make the spirit of my late husband to go to rest and to just let me be, because I am not dead. I am alive. I still want to live. I met my husband. It was in the late 1990s. And by then, life was very difficult. I was staying with my husband who was very abusive. He was very rough and I did not know what else I could do with my life. I was very suicidal at all the times. That was when I started talking with this Malawian man who became my husband. He was staying at the same hostel where I was staying as well. He was Malawian, quiet, hardworking. When my husband would go for days and days without leaving any food for me and my child, this Malawian man, he would say to me, you can come and cook. And I would go into his room. I would cook for me and the child as well as to cook for him. And he would take that food to work because he was working night shift at the mine. And you know, once you start to enter into another man's room and your husband is a drunkard, my husband was working at the mine. He was always chasing these prostitutes. And once you start to cook for a man that is not your husband, you know, you will end up falling in love. She then said to me, since I don't have a girlfriend, how about you and we just talk? You tell me how much do you want, and then I give you money at the end of each and every 2 weeks, and you cook for me. You make sure that when I wake up, you would have prepared a meal for me if your husband is not around. Then when I am not at work, you clean my room, because his room and our room, they were just opposite each other in the hostel that we were staying. So I would make sure that there is no one in the corridor. Then I will just go into his room. He ended up giving me his keys. I did this, and my husband did not even know. My husband really did not even care at all about me. He would just come sleep with me and return back to the shabin or to the girlfriends or go to work. He could spend a month without coming to see me. So I started cleaning the room for that Malawian man. Then we started sleeping with each other, and he made me to feel so good. He worked in the mine, and he was someone that was very good with his business plans that he told me. The moment that he told me that he was raising enough money to start a company, a logistics company, then he was going to try to get a contract from the mine, I said that this man is the one that I want. And even though as a South African, my mom did not want me to get married to a Malawian man, but when my mother came to Joburg from KZN, when she saw the life that I was now living, because we moved out of the hostel, because he said, I don't want any problems with your husband. We are going to be moving out of the hostel. When we move out of the hostel, when we stay somewhere else, it will be safe for you and I. My mother came and she saw that I was staying in a full house. There was no problem at all. My kids, they were excited, and I was pregnant by then. So my mom, she then gave us the blessings, and she said, you can get married. And I was very excited. This was a new life that I was living. We lived really well, not a flashy life, but stable. So the opportunity finally came. It was a mining related contract through a consortium, not directly with the government, but close enough that it was very good. In the past, because of poverty, I had once registered a company with another foreign man, but I did not know that this man, he used that company to scam other people, and that is how I got blacklisted as a director. Most of the people, they do not know this. Someone can say, help me to register a company, and then they use that company for bad things, and you will be the one that will be in trouble. So I could not be part of the company. The contract was in his name. I need to be very clear about this. Nothing about this started as witchcraft. It was all about survival. He could not include me because I was blacklisted. When my husband passed away, it was sudden. He just got pain in his head. Some people might think that I bewitched this man, but no, he just passed away. When my husband passed away, the contract was still active. If a company loses its principal holder, the contract is cancelled. It is not paused, it is cancelled. That means it is just the company cannot work for that company that is the mother company anymore. So you are blacklisted, you can't use it until you would have rectified the company profile, and then you add yourself as a director. I could not open another business linked to mining again because I had been blacklisted, and it was very difficult because once you are blacklisted, you can't do anything. So I did not trust my half-brothers because these half-brothers of mine, in the past, we had tried to start a business with my Malawian husband. We bought a taxi, and then one of my half-brother was the one that started driving. We don't know where that taxi went to. He came back and he said that I have been hijacked. You have been hijacked? Oh, okay. Then within a couple of months, we heard that he now had 2 taxis that he had bought. In the meantime, we did not know where he was, what he was doing. So we suspected that since he always came with money that was short, he would come with the money, and you will see that it is impossible that a taxi can bring in this little money, and you'll be like, today it was very difficult. There were no customers. Yet other taxi operators, they were upgrading one taxi, two taxis. So I did not trust any of my relatives, except for my mother, whom I could not make her to become the director. So when my husband passed away, I got advice. You know, you always get advice from different people. Since my husband was from Malawi, we were supposed to just do a quick funeral. Deals were done that I can't talk about. My husband was buried. In short, I'll just say that my husband, we buried him, but in the system, he was still alive. That is what happened. For years, life continued. Money came in. The contract ran its course until it expired. I expanded. I survived. I even prospered. I built a mansion in Centon, big rooms, high walls, and it was a very beautiful life. But in those days, my secret felt dead and done. I told myself that it was a chapter in my life. I had fought for my husband's wealth because I had kids with my husband. So I felt like where he was supposed to understand that what matters is for you to make sure that you leave a legacy for your children. I told myself that we will file the death later after this project, after that audit, after this expansion. You know, life, you keep on postponing. I'll say that I will file the death later, then I will do other things. I'll do it another time. We all do that. You cannot blame me for that. Life moved on, my kids grew, and we forgot. That is the most dangerous thing that had happened. I was not an evil person. I'm not an evil person. I'm not a greedy person. It was just simple forgetfulness. The first strange things started happening. It was in the year 2017. Nothing dramatic, just small annoying things. I was always forgetful. I did not know where I would have put the car keys. And when I would be in my bedroom, the lights will switch off by themselves. The doors that you would have closed, that door in the middle of the night will be opened. And I would always have my documents missing. I was blaming my helpers, stress. Then I started dreaming of my husband. He would come to me, not angry, and he was not even talking to me. He would be standing behind me as if he wants to stab me on my back, but quiet, waiting like for a signal. I would wake up and I would feel like there is someone that would have left the room. This would always happen. When I would wake up, when I would look at the door, I would see someone walking out of the door. Still, I did not panic. I told myself that maybe I was still grieving for my husband. But this was 20 years later, and I was starting to grieve again, and it did not make any sense at all. By 2020, the dreams had changed. My husband would stand close to the bed. I would see my husband in broad daylight. The first day when I was in the office, when I saw my husband, I had a knock on the door. I thought that maybe it was my receptionist, and I said, "Come in." I was even irritated by it because I had told her that I was about to go into a phone call meeting. So I was really irritated because I had told her that I did not want any disturbances until I had finished that important meeting. So I looked up and I was irritated. I expected to see the receptionist, but no. When the door was opened, I saw a tall black figure, and this was a ghost that I was seeing in broad daylight. It was my husband. His skin, it was falling off from his body as he was walking towards me. I screamed and I collapsed. When I woke up, I was in the hospital. I was told by my doctor that I needed to have bed rest, and I stayed at Mediclinic for 2 good days. I was admitted there. They told me that my blood pressure had gone up. So I was told not to stress and to just relax. Back home, I kept on hearing people talking in other rooms. In my own bedroom, I would wake up and I would find myself sleeping on the cold floor, and I would see a coffin on top of my bed. I then called some of my sisters, the ones that knew about what I had done, not filing for my husband's death because I was benefiting from the contract. This was in 2025. This was the year that was like hell on earth. It was so scary. I would wake up and I would be unable to move. I had a stroke in February of 2025. I had a stroke for 1 week. I was in a mess. I was unable to talk. My mouth shifted to the side. Still, they tell me that if you have a stroke, it could be a reason of stress. I have high blood pressure and you can end up having stress. I am taking a lot of medication. Some of these pills that I am taking, I can't even pronounce their names to you. But when I go to Sangomas, I am being told that I am supposed to listen to what my husband is telling me. And my husband, he has been visiting me in my sleep. And when he visits me, he says one thing and is very specific. I want you to go and dig up my bones and then you take me back to Malawi because I don't belong here in South Africa. He says to me, I am buried in the wrong place. Go and bury me back in Malawi. I am stuck, my brother. My family, they also don't know anything about using muti or charms. If there is anyone that you know that might assist me, someone that comes from Malawi, I wish to have the phone numbers of that person so that I can speak with them. I can go and show them the grave where my husband is buried. I once went there and I put some flowers on his grave thinking that maybe it is going to make him stop haunting me. But my husband, he has been haunting me. He is making things to be difficult for me. My children, they do not even know. They don't understand that mommy had to do this because she was trying to protect what belonged to their father. What belonged to their father also belonged to me. I really do not understand why is it that a man that loved me with all of his heart can hurt me like this, can make me to feel so much pain. Is it true that a spirit of a person, once that person dies, it is no longer a good spirit, but it is just a demon or a familiar spirit that is pretending to be my husband? If that is true, if I have to chase away this spirit, how do I do it exactly? Should I go on a fasting period? Should I go to church? Where am I supposed to run to? I just want help. I'll be following through in the comment section. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear sister. Let us try to speak with our dear sister in the comment section. She is saying that she is looking for a Malawian witch doctor, and she is also asking, if I pray, will it make the spirit of my husband stop coming and causing pain in my life? Let us speak with him in the comment section.